What was going on at that time which caused all of the unrest in Liberia?
Well, at the time, as a kid, I didn't really understand what was going on, but I just knew, you heard rumbling. Some people were unhappy with the way the government was being run, and they were putting together like a small army to overthrow the government. And, at the time we heard, whispers of there's going to be a war, there's going to be a war. And as a kid, you sit there, you watch TV, you see war on TV, and it's like, oh, that's, it's fun. Look at that, all that fancy guns and all that stuff. And we're seriously thinking, like, oh, and when the war happens, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. But you don't realize, like, you're sitting here in America, you see a war, it's not in your backyard, it's somewhere, it's some country thousands and thousands of miles away. So you don't realize how, impactful and how, close to home it's going to hit. So my family had adopted a kid, and we, we're all family now, consider him just a brother to us. We didn't even use the term stepbrother. We just said, this is our brother Joe. They opened fire on the house, and, I was pretty much from me to you when Joseph was shot in the neck. And at the time I was 7 years old, looking there and seeing a family member, killed right in front of me there. My brother Joseph was killed. We had to leave him in the house there for days because the fighting was so intense out there. And when the soldiers finally came to our house to loot there, my grandmother's just had enough and she just went off on them. And I don't know if you guys ever seen like the Tyler Perry movies, Medea. That was like my grandmother. She just went nuts on them. She was like, "You killed my son," and and so they made, first of all, they made all the guys take the shirts off because there was a certain tattoo that members of the soldiers would get. So they were checking to see, and so basically she went off on them. They left, and we had the opportunity to take my brother and we buried him in the backyard. Yes, she was in America trying to obtain visas for us, and it was also hard for kids because we were trying to figure out, why isn't she here with us? I honestly remember thinking, this is sad, but I was thinking, does she not want us? But didn't realize that she was out there looking for us, and she, like the video says, she left America one day, just picked up and said, I'm gonna go find my kids, and went door to door for 4 months looking for us. And she would get to one house and people would be like, oh, they were just here, you just missed them. And so she would go to the next place and same thing over again.
Then the reunion occurs.
Everyone just went nuts, we ran out there, gave her a big hug, and she came, she brought us some clothes, some food.
It was a good feeling to see them, and to count them and see that everybody was there.
You wanted to play soccer, but... Yeah,
I grew up playing soccer, so I came to America and said, yeah, I'm going to play soccer. But Clymer, being the big metropolis it is, wasn't big enough to have a soccer team. So I played summer league soccer in the summertime and loved it, did great at it. But then all my friends started going to football practice and I had nothing to do. So I knew nothing about football. The thing I knew was Terrell Davis, he was a running back and had the number 30. And one day I went and I said, hey, I want to be Terrell Davis. I want number 30. And they're like, okay. I remember the very first game, JV game, we played Panama. And my first carry was a 62-yard touchdown. And I was like, yeah, I guess I could get used to this. I didn't look at football as I want to get to the NFL, because when I was younger, you asked me what I wanted to do. I just wanted to have a job that I wore a suit and tie to work every day. That's what I wanted to do. And I wanted to play on the company softball team, go to happy hour. That's it. I was happy with that. I was content with that.
Probably all would be.
So, that's all I wanted to do. When, word got out that I committed to Michigan State, a lot of people from the outside was like, oh, you're never going to make it there. Well, first of all, they said I wasn't going to make it anywhere by going to Clymer. They said I need to go to a bigger school. I need to go to Cathedral Prep in Erie. I need to do this. You're never going to, you play nobody, so you're not really good. So the same, you know, once you get to college where they get exposed. So I get there and you get to Michigan State. Yeah, it's total, you know. I go from, oh geez, Clymer, where I graduated with 26 kids, the K through 12 in the same building. I go from there to 50,000 students at Michigan State. I walked into my first class. It was stadium seating, had 600 kids and teachers using a microphone. I'm like, this is more than the whole school, you know?
And Ryan Miller, you want to talk about him?
Yeah, Ryan, he went to Michigan State as well, but he was older than me. His brother and I were the same age, and we would train together in the summertime because we would train. The football team would train with hockey team, and we'll just train, and then afterwards we'll go golfing and partake in a couple libations.
You were of age?
Yes, I was of age. And funny story about Ryan and I, so every summer he would come to East Lansing and train, and one day we left this bar and we're walking down this little alley. They're gonna go to this little Mexican spot, Qdoba or Chipotle, one of those things, and it's 2:30 in the morning, you're hungry, and this car's driving through the alley, and his lights were off, and so I just, simply being a good guy, it's like, hey, your lights aren't on, the cops are out there. This guy puts it in park, jumps out the car. Why are you hitting my car? I was like, dude, calm down. I was just trying to help you. And so it was me and, 3 other football players and 5, 6 hockey players. So this guy's coming at, and then the football guys are the ones like, okay, dude, calm down. We're just gonna get some food. The hockey guy is taking his shit. Let's go. You don't want this guy. And he gave me that name, Choo Choo. And the cool thing, the school ran with it. And so, I had, if I had a run of 10 yards or more, this train comes on the big screen there. I was like, wow, this is really cool. But, yes, I do at times, it's not in an arrogant way, I do refer to myself in third person sometimes. If we're playing and I'll just look at the coach and I want to run the ball, I'll be like, Choo Choo hungry. ESPN doing all this special on this guy A.J.Hawk and the Ohio State linebacking core, and so we're playing the game at home, running. We're on our 30-yard line going in to the student section, and I get the ball and I could run straight and get a 30-yard touchdown, or I can be stupid like I did. A.J.Hawk had taken a drop into a pass coverage because it was a little draw play. So I'm running, and I swear to God, I'm thinking this, and I usually don't think during the games, but I'm thinking this as I'm running. I was like, let me see how good this guy is. So I'm going this way and then veer off into him, and he hits me. My ear pad falls out, my helmet's sideways. I'm on the field walking off with my helmet in my hand and my ear pad, trying to put everything together, and I learned a lesson. He's a tough guy. He's always advertised. I thought you were going to plug my Twitter. Oh. You can follow me on Twitter.
Tell them about
my Twitter handle is Jehuu Caulcrick, JEHUU-CAULCRICK. Tweet me.
We're going to applaud you. Thank you very much.
And any of you lawyers, I want to write a book, so give me your card.
Thank you, one and all. Been a magic.